Radnor or Radnorshire is a sparsely populated area, one of 13 historic and former administrative counties of Wales. It is represented by the Radnorshire area of Powys, which according to the 2011 census, had a population of 25,821. The historic county is bounded to the north by Montgomeryshire and Shropshire, to the east by Herefordshire, to the south by Brecknockshire and to the west by Cardiganshire. The county was formed from the cantrefs of Maelienydd and Elfael and the commotes of Gwrtheyrnion and Deuddwr by the laws in Wales.It chapters 1535 to 1542. New Radnor was the original county town, although the assizes sat at Preston and ultimately the county council formed in 1889 met at Preston as well. Some administrative functions, and later the district council, were based at the larger and more central Llandrindod, which is currently the largest settlement. The administrative county formed under the Local Government Act 1888 was abolished by the Local Government Act 1972 in 1974, with its area being transferred to the newly created county of Powys. Powys was divided into 3 districts, one of which was coterminous with Radnorshire. The district was renamed Radnorshire in 1989. Since Powys became a unitary authority in 1996, Radnorshire has been one of 3 areas formed under a decentralisation scheme. A shire committee, consisting of councillors elected for electoral divisions within the former district of Radnorshire, exercises functions delegated by Powys County Council. Geography. In the east and south are some comparatively level tracts, including the Vale of Radnor, but most of the county was mountainous, with the Cambrian Mountains running through the west of the county. The highest point is at Radnor Forest, 2,166 feet. The Alan Valley contains several huge man-made reservoirs supplying water to Birmingham. The main rivers of the Wye, the River Teme, the Alan and the Ithen. The chief towns are Knighton, Llandrindod, Wells, Preston and Radnor. The main industries are tourism and hill farming, particularly sheep raising. Subdivisions. Hundreds. On the creation of the county it was divided into 6 hundreds. The names of the hundreds, which were not always consistently spelt, were as follows: Colwen, Keventlees, Knighton, Painscastle, Radnor, Rhaidr. Local government districts. Poor law unions. In the 19th century, new structures of local administration were introduced. The Poor Law Amendment Act 1834 grouped parishes into poor law unions. While these were not themselves local authorities, the boundaries were to later be used to define local government districts. Plus, did not conform to county boundaries, but consisted of catchment areas for workhouses. Most of Radnorshire was included in the 3 unions of Knighton, Preston and Radnor. Parishes on the edges of the county were included in unions based in other counties. Builth and Hay-on-Wye in Brecknockshire and Kington in Herefordshire. Local boards of health. There were no town councils in the county until 1850, when a local board was formed at Knighton. Similar bodies were later formed at Llandrindod, Wells and Preston in 1891. Sanitary districts. The Public Health Act 1875 divided England and Wales into sanitary districts, each governed by a sanitary authority. Instead of creating new bodies, existing local board districts became urban sanitary districts and the remaining areas of poor law unions became rural sanitary districts. The existing local board of poor law guardians became the sanitary authority for their area. By 1891, therefore, Radnorshire was divided between the following sanitary districts: Builth RSD, Hay RSD, Kington RSD, Knighton RSD, Knighton USD, Llandrindod, Wells USD, Preston RSD, Preston USD, Radar.SD. Urban and Rural Districts. The Local Government Act 1894 created urban districts and rural districts in place of the sanitary districts. Directly elected urban and rural district councils became the governing bodies. The new districts were identical to the sanitary districts, with the exception that where ARSD was divided by a county boundary, it was split into a separate rural district in each county. Radnorshire was divided into 8 UDs and RDs, which were unchanged until their abolition in 1974. Colwyn Road, Knighton Road, Knighton UD, Landrindot-Wells UD, New Radnor Road, Painscastle Road, Prestine UD, Radar Road, Coat of Arms. Until 1954, Radnorshire County Council used a version of the arms of the Mortimers, Earls of March, Barry of 6, or an azure on a chief of the last two pallets, azure between as magirons of the first. The council received a grant of armorial bearings by the College of Arms in 1954. The arms were made up of charges from a local families. A gold regardant lion on red was for Elliston Glodreth, Prince of Wales. c. 1000 black boar's heads on white for his son Cadogan. Around these was placed a golden blue compony border based on the Mortimer arms. The motto adopted by the county council was, in 1974 the arms were transferred to Radnor District Council. In 1996 the arms were transferred a second time to Powys County Council, for use by the Radnorshire Shire Committee. History and culture. The geographic territory of the historic county roughly corresponds with the Welsh territory of Rhwng Gwrtheyrnion, which fell under the control of the Marcher lords at the end of the 11th century. Radnorshire was a poor county and has been an historical backwater, but occasionally has drifted to the forefront of history. The most notable historic events of the founding of Cwmhir Abbey and the Battle of Brynglas, fought on the 22nd of June 1402 during the rebellion of Morwen and Deuddwr. The county's poverty was remarked upon thus in the 17th century by an anonymous visitor. Apart from a handful of parishes along the English border, the Welsh language remained the first language of the county well into the second half of the 18th century. By 1850 the language had retreated to the western parishes of Radar, Llanr, Cwm Dorddedo, St Harmon and Nantmel. By 1900 Welsh was still spoken by a sizable minority west of the town of Radar, the language disappearing as the century progressed. Of course there were Welsh speakers living in Radnorshire who had come from other parts of Wales, and today the number has been swelled by children being educated through the medium of Welsh in school. Until the Acts of Union, Radnor was outside the Principality of Wales. This peculiar Marcher status and its want of Welsh speakers gave weight to the traditional local expression, neither Wales nor England, just Radnorshire. Places of special interest. Abbey Cwmhir aka Abbey Cwmhir, Begaldi Tumuli, Broadheath House, Prestine, Alan Valley Visitors Centre, The Pales, Offers Dyke, The Rock Park, Landrindot-Wells, Royal Welsh Showground, Llanecwed, Pillith Church and the Battle of Brynglas. Principal towns and villages. No centre in Radnorshire exceeds a population of 6,000. Only one exceeds 5,000. Knighton, Landrindot-Wells, Prestine, Radar, Newbridge-on-Wye, New Radnor, Radnorshire diaspora, poverty and agricultural change, decline and industrial progress elsewhere has always made Radnorshire a place of net emigration. Emigrants employed the name of the county in the United States. Radnor Lake State Park, Nashville, Tennessee. Radnor Township, Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Part of the Welsh tract first settled in 1663 to 1665 by a group of 40 Quakers from Radnorshire. Radnor Township, Delaware County, Ohio. Others may have formed part of the Welsh community in Patagonia. Surnames. Most common surnames in Radnorshire at the time of the United Kingdom census of 1881. By order of incidence: 1. Jones, 2. Davies, 3. Price, 4. Evans, 5. Lewis, 6. Williams, 7. Lloyd, 8. Powell, 9. Thomas, 10. Griffiths,